इसके बाद हो सकता है कि तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स कभी तुम्हें जर्मनी जाने ही ना दें. So just recently on 23rd February, the German lawmakers legalized cannabis in Germany. There were 407 votes for it and there were 226 votes against it. From 1st April, adults can grow up to 3 plants at home and possess 50 grams. In public, adults are allowed to carry around 25 grams of cannabis. Again, the most important thing here is it's supposed to be for personal consumption, like selling it to somebody and so on, like in the streets, things like that. That has to be avoided, and that's why they're saying, okay, everybody does their own thing, and we want to somehow reduce all of the illegal dealing of drugs which is going on here. So people who are going to smoke anyways, you can also smoke, but you just do it in your own private spheres. There's another restriction here that if you're doing it in public, it should not be done near sports facilities or schools, so that there's no impact or things like that, because people are coming here for studies or for playing sports and they don't want to be pushed into some other directions, which I don't know, like how I feel like this is going to be a little bit more difficult when everything is legalized, because people are going to have easy access to these things, and especially like people who want to try, they can try it. But again, like Germany is not the first country which is doing it. So I was reading this news recently, how many countries have already legalized cannabis. So here they say that if Germany passes a cannabis bill, it would join the growing ranks of European countries that have either legalized the drug or decriminalized its usage. The Netherlands is perhaps the best known example of cannabis tolerant country due to the proliferation of coffee shops since 1970s. Malta currently has the most tolerant laws in the EU, allowing adults to carry up to 7 grams of cannabis and grow up to 4 plants at home. Smoking marijuana in public, however, is still prohibited. Luxembourg allows the possession of cannabis in public and the cultivation of up to 4 plants. Portugal now treats the consumption in small amounts of cannabis as an administrative offense. So previously it was criminal, now it is like administrative offense. Spain allows private consumption of up to 100 grams of the drug. It is still illegal to consume or possess cannabis in public spaces. Here, everybody's fighting about 5 grams, 25 grams, 50 grams, and Spain is like 100 grams. Yeah, this is going to be super interesting. Now, you also talk about, like, how many people agree with the decision and how many people are against it. This is what I find extremely interesting about this, because generally, like, if a law is passed, there's a scenario where, like, the majority of the people are for it, or there's like some really nice use case. I simply don't see that here. Nearly half of German residents support the proposed partial overturning of the cannabis ban. Poll found that 47% of the respondents are somewhat or completely in favor of the proposed law, while 42% of them said they somewhat or completely reject the plans. Now, also, there's another story where the doctors group warns against the cannabis legalization, but the government still went ahead and did it. Cannabis has potential for dependence. Around 10% of regular users of cannabis have an addiction. Secondly, regular consumption up to the age of 25 can interfere with the brain maturation process. Yeah, that this is a drug that has a high potential for danger and it cannot be legalized. I don't know. I just find this entire development extremely hilarious, because like how did this become such a big deal in Germany, right? Like, this was not something which needed to be on the agendas when there are like so many other things that they need to worry about or focus on. When all of this started, I feel like every single time things are going too bad, and this is something that I see in every single world government. When things are going in a little bit of a difficult direction, they just like bring out a distraction. They make a circus for you. They make a coliseum where the gladiators can fight, and you can essentially just distract the audience, distract the public, and they can do something else. I do believe, like, if the legalization has happened now, what if like it has happened, and from 1st April onwards, probably like a lot more people are going to be trying it, because it's obviously not banned, so they don't have any kind of fear there, or I'm doing something illegal. So that is going to be one thing. So maybe the number of people who smoke it rises. But at the same time, there was another argument which I was seeing on one of the Instagram reels, which was posted by Deutsche Welle, that it does not matter. Like, the people who are going to smoke, they will smoke normally, and the people who were not smoking anyways are not going to smoke. So let's see how it develops. I know from India, like, we are very against these things. I think drinking alcohol itself is such a big thing in India, especially when you come abroad and you start drinking. Also, like, not many people do it, especially like many Indian students, professionals, so on. Like, everybody has a different kind of mindset. Some people want to try it, some people want to like adjust to how things are going. And like with drugs and stuff, especially like, This is not something that I would recommend you guys. Just know your limits, know what kind of person you are. Are you somebody who gets dependent very quickly and you cannot let it go? So if that's the story, just like, completely stay away from it. For other people who want to try it out, they want to live their life or something once in a while. I don't know, you decide, right? But I think this is super interesting. This is just hilarious development because this was not something which needed to happen. So what do you think about this? Write in the comments and I will see you in the next video.